Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome back to She's a Busy Girl. I'm Stephanie, and we are today continuing work on our journal that we have made the cover for. I still love this fabric. I keep petting it. I'm silly like that. Okay, so I have got a bunch of papers here to make up our pages, and I think we're gonna do. I have this weird thing where I only want to do signatures in odd numbers. And I see people make journals with 2 and 4 signatures, and I just cannot bring myself to do it. I just can't. I don't know why. So I think we're going to let's put together 3, see how big they are, and go from there. Let's do that. So I've got some pages that I made, and these are, I printed this out on parchment paper, and I like it because you don't necessarily have to print the back side. And I think I'm gonna do a little teeny bit of decoration in this one. So I've made these pages on parchment paper just with some images from the Graphicsberry and some that I have purchased on Etsy. And these are actually public domain images. And made some graph paper on that one. Yeah, so made these. We have a bunch of book pages here with images on them, mostly botanical because, it's me. And then I've got a bunch of book pages like, I don't know what that is. We've got some foreign language, some more foreign language, some almanac pages. We've got some 5x7 little notebook paper that I have copy dyed. And then regular paper and graph paper and all sorts of stuff that has been copy dyed as well. So we're going to try to put together 5 signatures. No, three signatures. That's what we're doing. I know what I'm doing. Okay. So I am going to start out with one of the pages that I've made. Okay, so let's gather these up. Gather these up, and we'll just kind of start dealing them out, and then we'll figure out what order we want them to be in. And I think that is going to work the best. All right, so let me just make sure that we're actually in frame with all 3 of our piles here. Okay, yeah, that's gonna work. All right, so there's 3, and we'll deal these out. They're not all gonna go side by side, obviously, but we will figure out the order of them. Okay, that's 1 extra, so we're gonna set that one aside. And then we've got 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. This is that mushroom book that was really long. Do you remember that one? I showed it to you quite a ways back. But it kind of folds in half and makes these perfect pages. So that's actually part of the reason I got it. So, all right, there's 3 of those, and 3 of these, and 3 of those. 3 almanac pages. Okay, and I think I've got enough for 2 of these per signature, yes. All right, and then we're just gonna start dealing out the regular old paper. I have cut these down to 7 1/4 by 5 1/2 because that's what I determined was gonna fit in our cover. I'm not really sure about the 5 1/2 part. I cut it down to 5 1/4 and it just seemed too short. Too short. I didn't like the way that it looked. So, all right. So there are our 3 piles. Let's take our first pile and put these other 2 aside. And let's figure out the order that we want these to go in. All right. So let's go parchment. Yeah. Let's see. Let's do a little one here. There we go. And We do some more parchment and some book page. There we go. And there's some graph paper. I like that one. And this is from that vintage herb book that I love. And let's do some regular paper and some foreign language. Let's put that in there. Let's do the last of our parchment here. And, oh, we still got a bunch of stuff to put in. Oh boy. Okay. And here's more graph paper. And there's some mushrooms. And let's see, let's put this black and white one in there too. And then, wait. Let's see, okay, we can put this one in and then this one. But I need a different place for, I think we're going to take this little guy. And that would be great if you had it right side up stuff. There you go. All right. So, there's that. All right. Now, what we need to do is bring our cover in and just, okay. So, 5.5 may actually wind up being too long when we sew them in. It just, well, maybe not. I think we just need to trim off some of that stuff. Maybe it won't. Okay. But let's take a look at how these kind of go together. That and that. Make sure everything's right side up. That's always a plus when you're putting together book signatures. And there is mushrooms. Maybe we should move that up. There we go. Ah, that one's upside down. I knew I messed something up. All right. There we go. I'm going to move that one all the way to the bottom because the other one was just about to the top. There's that. And that will be the center. Okay. I think that one is good. So we've got one signature, and if I need to trim this up, I can do that. We'll just get out the metal ruler and our blade and just kind of trim mostly just this inside stuff. I think that's really all that's going to cause us an issue. But for right now, let's set that one aside and let's do our next signature here because we have to get these put together before we do anything else. Okay, let's start out with some okay, well, let's do this in the beginning. All right, and we'll put another little one there. And the flies this year are driving me absolutely bonkers. I hope they are not as bad where you are as they are here, because good gracious, they are terrible this year. Of course, they were terrible last year too. I think anytime that it's really wet, the flies get really bad. I don't know. That's what I'm attributing it to, because it's been a seriously wet summer here. This is, this Wyoming is high plains, and so it is mostly very high and dry. So I'm not exactly sure why it has been so wet this year, but it has been a seriously wet summer. All right, put that one there. And let's get our almanac page in. I'm not trying to put them all in the same exact order because that would be boring. I don't want it to be boring. All right, let's move that one down. And let's see, put that one there. And some graph and some foreign language, and the last parchment. All right. So there's that, and I think I did get all of those right side up this time. I'm pretty sure. I think so. Okay, cool. How many pages are we doing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay. 17 pages per signature. There's that one. And we will put our final one together here. And then we will be good to move on. All right, so let's use the butterfly one. I like that one. Let's use that one. Do that. And where's my little guys? Here they are. Okay. And that. Actually, let's do this one. Then we can do some foreign language. All right. And some parchment. There we go. Almanac page. And let's see. Some ledger paper. And some flowers. And writing paper. That's, well, the coffee kind of turned it into not writing paper anymore. Oh well. There's that. And let's do this. And this one. Okay. And that. And we'll do this one up high. And this one a bit lower. There we go. And some plain paper for the center. Okay. And there is our third signature. So we have got all three signatures. We know we've got them in the order that we want them to be in. And that's going to give us a good book with room to grow. All right. So the next piece that we need to do, and I'm not going to worry about these pages just yet as far as like trimming them down. The next piece that we need to do is to make a template for the inside of our spine piece. And woohoo, I'm throwing stuff all over the place. All right, so we know that the pages are 7 1/4 inches long. And let's see. 7 1/4 inches. Oh my goodness. Okay. What did I say this was? Is that like an inch? I'm getting tired. Can you tell? Okay. Let's see. So I think we're gonna do like 1 1/2. All right. 1 1/2 inches wide. Just like that. All right. There's that part. And then 7 1/4 inches tall. So there is that part. All right, so we are going to now make a template of how these signatures are going to go inside of our spine. And the first thing, because I like to work in odd numbers, the first thing that I do is fold it in half so that we can find our center for our center signature. And that is going to fit in there very nicely. All right, and so now we need our scoreboard so that we can find some, we can make the lines. We can make the lines. Stand by. And ta-da, we have a scoreboard. Okay, so now I'm going to put this down and determine, let's see. Here's 1 1/2 inches. So I think we need a signature here because I don't like them to be too far away from the covers. But that's a lot of rim. You see all the rim there? But these are pretty thick signatures too, though. Let's see. So they're pretty thick, and I think we should probably give it some room for the signatures to expand. So we're gonna go with this. We're gonna go with them being that far apart because they're, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4/8. Are they seriously 1/2 inch apart? Yeah, they really are. So we've got a 1/2 inch of space between our signatures. We're gonna hope that works out. Okay, so 7 1/4, half of 7 1/2. We're gonna call this center right here. And then we're gonna come out to 6 1/2. And we're gonna come out to 6 1/2 on this side. Don't you love the way that I measure? Okay, and so those are the holes that we need to make. Let's get this out of the way. All right, so we are going to make holes here, here, and here. All right. Now, one of the things that becomes really important when you don't measure, when you're just kind of eyeballing everything, is that you punch the holes in everything the same exact way. So you got to mark the top. You got to mark the top on your template. You got to mark the top on your spine, and you got to mark the top on your signatures as well. And I just do this real light so that I can erase it easily. All right, and so we know, all right, so this is, what do we cut this to, 1 1/2 inches? So now we need our Kraft-Tex, okay? And if you've never heard of Kraft-Tex, it is this fantastic craft paper. And this is kind of a cross between paper, leather, and fabric. I mean, you can actually make like things that you would normally see made out of leather or fabric out of this stuff. And I get this on Amazon, and I will try to remember to put a link down below this video for purchasing it on Amazon. It is a little bit pricey, but it is so worth it. It is so easy to work with. And yeah, it's just my favorite thing ever. This package has 5, or it had, because I've used a bunch of it, it had 5 different colors. You had natural, white, black, stone, and chocolate. And we are going to use this sheet of chocolate this time around. And my norm is I want 2 inches on either side of my spine, so that it laps into the book by 2 inches. Okay, so, and you'll see why that's a little bit important. All right, so our spine is 1 1/2 inches, and we're gonna add 4 inches to that. So we're gonna cut this at 5 1/2 inches. Yeah, it's still paper. It still cuts super easy. I love this stuff. Okay, so 5 1/2, and we know our height is 7 1/4. So we are going to cut this at 7 1/4. There we go. So there is our piece of Kraft-Tex for the spine. And we need to bring our scoreboard back in because I like to score this stuff. There we go. And I'm going to score it at 2 inches. Just like that. And flip it over and score it at 2 inches, and that's going to leave us our 1 1/2 inch between those 2 lines for our spine, because this right here is what we are going to sew the signatures into and then insert in our cover. And that is how we get the no stitches on the outside of the book. And we leave these 2 inches because this is what we glue to the insides of the book. And I will show you here in just a second what I'm talking about. And that gives you your hollow spine, which in turn allows your book to lie flat when you open it. Okay, so let's bring our cover back in. All right, so this goes inside the spine like that, and your pages are sewn in here, and then these get glued onto the inside of the book. So you see, when the book is open, the spine is hollow. So that's what I'm talking about, and it'll get clearer as we continue to put everything together, it starts to really take shape. You'll understand exactly what I'm talking about. How are we doing for time? Oh, we're at 20 minutes. Okay. All right, so I'm going to call it for this video right here. We will come back tomorrow. We will punch our holes in both our craft text and our 3 signatures, because our 3 signatures are going to fit inside the craft text just like that. So we'll poke our holes in both of these and start sewing our signatures into our craft text spine piece. And then the last video will be putting this all together like so. Yeah, sort of like that. And then we will need to choose some inside papers for our covers and get those installed. And then our book, oh yeah, we gotta put our little witchamajiggy on the front here. We gotta do that, and our corners. Oh, we still got a bunch to do. So, thank you guys so much for stopping in and hanging out. I've enjoyed spending time with you, and we're gonna do this again really soon, like 24 hours type soon. And so you guys take care. Have a great night.